Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Yeah? How's the weather in Dubai compared to the US?
It's a scorcher here.
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
being cooked well done. After being in LA for the last 8 months, I mean, even now the weather is cool, comfortable, humidity's low. Coming here is a very big difference.
It's a change.
Yeah.
In LA, I think it's quite cooler than here right now.
It's maybe 25 on the hottest day, and we're talking middle of summer.
Yeah, this is the good side of summer, you know?
Really?
It's been raining like 2 days, so
Yeah.
it got a little bit cooler.
You know, when I was here, I had Tesla, and I would pre-cool the car from the phone. So that's, I mean, when you're here, you adapt to lifestyle. It was normal. But now that I'm absent and I return, like, I don't have the tolerance
You have to remember
anymore.
how to operate in Dubai.
Survival mode again.
It's good, it's good, it's good. Dubai, it's fine. So, how do you like Dubai so far?
I love Dubai, the culture, the people. It's clean, it's safe, and especially for a fitness fanatic like myself, it has been abundant with opportunity for content collaboration. This is really a transportation hub for this part of the world.
It's a good community.
Absolutely.
Like it's very versatile. Yeah, I give it that.
Yeah.
Dubai is a very versatile atmosphere, and the fitness scene recently has been like booming.
It's exploding. Ever since the pandemic, everyone was coming here because everywhere else was closed, and Dubai was open first because we went into lockdown first. And it just made an abundant opportunity for content collaboration. So I made so many contacts from people from UK, Europe, Asia, for example. People that would never go to America, maybe because of visa situation,
Yes.
or because maybe it's just too far, inconvenient, but they would come here. So I got to grow my international presence.
Nice. You have quite the presence on the let's say the fitness scene worldwide. You have a very, especially here also in Dubai. Recently, as you mentioned, you have like a stable presence here. And now let's go back a little bit. How did it all start? How did you get to the gym the first time? Why did you go to lifting?
Well, in a nutshell, it came from a dark place, low self-esteem, depression. And when I was 14 years old, I picked up broomstick and cinder blocks living in St. Martin.
Quite a story, that one.
Yeah, and that's how I got into it, to build myself up, my body, my mentality, just to approach the world with more confidence, stop the bullying, and it worked. And I just got hooked on the results. I think that's how we all get addicted to the process when we start seeing, oh, my bicep looks bigger today. Oh, that's getting filled in my chest. And
I want more.
Exactly. You don't want that to stop. So you just keep doing it because the results are really addicting. And then eventually when I was 17, after a few years bodybuilding, I was happy with my body. I thought that I didn't need to work on it any further to be happy. So I picked up powerlifting because I was always fearful that if I got into bodybuilding, would I be judged fairly? Right? There's a lot of politics in the sport, and I wasn't confident that I would make it to the top. I didn't think I had the genetic potential to be there, but I did know in powerlifting that when I compare myself to other powerlifters that were my age, a bit older, I was right there neck and neck with them. So I knew if I gave it my everything, I could be one of the best. It was more realistic for me.
Do you think it's more of a genetic thing or something that you subconsciously put like extra effort into the powerlifting scene? I think, it's part of it is genetics, but most of people like blame it on genetics. I don't lift that heavy because of genetics, but I believe it's part of it. Like you've put on the work, maybe subliminally, you didn't know it, but you put like the extra work into lifting heavier for some sort of reason. Do you think it's mainly genetics or you have done something extra?
I think genetics is a big part of it, but with that said, I also believe it's because I just dedicated myself to being a weightlifter, powerlifter, first and foremost, versus a bodybuilder. And I believe if I were to be a full-time bodybuilder and not care about how much weight was on the bar, my physique would look very different than what it looks like today. Different priority. I do believe, though, everyone has a different genetic capacity for where they could reach at the very top. So I think when it comes to powerlifting, I'm damn near right there at my limit. I don't know how much stronger I could ever get, depending how much more time I would to be willing to put into the sport. But I do believe that genetics does play a major factor. You know, there are some powerlifters that train their whole life. You know, they dedicate their whole life to the sport and they don't make it to number one for world records or even national records, state records. And then there are others where it comes very easy. So I believe that genetics play a major part.
It does.
It's an unfair advantage.
Yeah, but you build on that. You can't have only genetics and win. You have to build on that as well.
Of course, It takes the right combination of everything to make it to another place.
How do you manage to make it between, jumping between bodybuilding and powerlifting? You broke, in 2017, I think, you broke a world record in powerlifting. And then 3 months later, you jumped on stage and won a competition in bodybuilding. So how do you fit the balance? How do you balance between bodybuilding, training, and diet, and powerlifting? Are they that different, or what's your take on that?
Well, I believe it can be done successfully if you do it one at a time. I believe where people make mistake is when they try and do both at the same time.
Okay.
You know, if they're preparing for a bodybuilding show while powerlifting, for example, then the training is very different for bodybuilding as it is for powerlifting. So you're going to have suboptimal results than if you were to dedicate your training, nutrition, everything for just bodybuilding. So I think if you do, for example, one season bodybuilding prep, then take a rest, then do another season powerlifting prep, you can have success with both. But simultaneously, it cannot be done.
So you're focusing like you're flipping the switch. You're a powerlifter and a bodybuilder, but one at a time.
One then the next, exactly, but not at the same time.
All right, let's talk about injuries. I think in powerlifting especially, injury is inevitable to happen. And what's your injury prevention protocol and what's your recovery protocol? How you keep yourself from being injured, lifting those massive weights?
I believe if you're training in a warm environment, your likelihood of injury gets reduced dramatically. That's one great thing about Dubai. Generally, the gyms here are kept quite warm, and I don't think I've been injured more than maybe once or twice in my 4 years training here.
That's good to know.
And I've only ever gotten hurt in a cold climate. When I tore my bicep, the only permanent injury I ever had was lifting outside in the UK. It was cold, rainy. I was doing the Atlas stones. I didn't have the best technique. I was still learning the sport. I was just starting out. And I was doing it for time because in strongman it's like a race. So I was on a timer. So I was trying to do it quickly, and when you rush, you make mistakes. But that, in conjunction with the temperature outside, my tendons and everything weren't warmed up properly, so it snapped, and now I have this permanent injury. But anyways, any other time I've gotten injured, it's generally been to either a cold climate or not warming up enough. So when I've trained with training partners, sometimes maybe they arrive to the gym early and they do their own warm-up, or we arrive together, we get distracted, we just get straight to the workout. And that's dangerous. I believe that you need at least a good 10, 15 minutes before every training session. Do a little dynamic stretching, little pump work, make sure you get a little sweat going before you should put yourself under some serious weight, especially as a powerlifter.
And I believe technique plays a huge role of it. You have to do the technique properly, load the muscle, not the joints.
Yeah, and when you're deadlifting, I believe, for example, technique's so important to the fact where 100 kg should look the same technique-wise as 400 kg, right? If every set looks different, that means you haven't mastered your technique yet.
You have to give it. You're still trying to attempt the 1,000-pound deadlift?
Is
it still in the option?
Not at this time. I don't want to say never because now I moved to LA
never
to grow
say
my
never,
business and brand. Exactly. I'm still only 28. So who's to say in the next 2-3 years I may have some unfinished business, but right now I'm content with my achievements in powerlifting.
Just taking a warrior's break before you come back to that.
Yeah, and really I want to make it to the Olympia stage on classic physique. I believe that once my gym's open, I'm going to start the prep for it in there, and within a couple of years I think I can make it.
How is the OG gym progress going?
So we started the demo about 3 weeks ago. We're completely gutting it. It's about 14,000 square feet over in the city of Claremont, California.
Nice.
We have a mixture of equipment from various brands, Panata, Real Leader, Tough Stuff, for example, and a couple more. And we're just waiting on some equipment to be manufactured and the ability to be completed.
So you have some custom-made equipments, especially for the one-generation gym.
We have a patented competition-grade powerlifting bench.
Nice.
That uses hydraulics to raise and lower it for lifters that are lifting serious weight on the bench press. They don't have to use any energy to raise and lift the weight, raise and lower the weight. They can use the hydraulics by a foot pedal.
Wow.
So that's patented piece of equipment coming to our gym, and we have some others that we're working on from scratch as well.
So it's not any other gym. It's not
exactly. We have to differentiate ourselves, right? There's big competition for gyms.
Nice.
Yeah.
I feel like this project especially, it gets you pumped up and more excited than
it's
at
my
the
first, physical business. Everything I do now, up until now, has been online. So this would be my first business that I can just walk into. Everything now has been online. So this is going to be a step in the right direction for me, I believe. It's very exciting.
You've been very busy. What's the heaviest lifts you've made? Squat, deadlift, and bench.
Heaviest squat has
been... right? You can brag now,
Okay, sure. This is my favorite part. Okay. So heaviest squat has been 952 pounds. Bench has been 675 pounds, which is, I think, let me think, how much is that in kg?
Around 320 kgs.
Yeah, I think around 305 kg,
305 kgs,
Yeah, and then heaviest deadlift has been 927 for three, which is I think 422
422 kgs, exactly.
For 3 reps, and those are my heaviest lifts of all time.
That was massive, man. That was huge.
Yeah, that was a big day. I got very excited.
How do you approach these lifts, Yani? What kind of mindset you have before approaching the day? That day, you're preparing to lift, the world.
Yeah, great question. And before any lift that I prepare to do, it starts weeks in advance.
Okay.
So let's say for that deadlift, my coach and I sit down and we discuss what's the plan for the next 8 to 12 weeks. And he has a number for me that he expects me to hit 8 to 12 weeks in advance. So I'm thinking about that number for the whole 2-3 months of training. So every day I wake up and every day I go to bed, I have this number in mind.
That number.
Exactly. I'm looking at my training program. I'm looking at the very end of it.
Do you visualize the lifts?
Lots of visualization and belief and excitement and sleepless nights, So it's a long process that finally leads up to like this explosion of adrenaline the day of, because you've been thinking about it for months. It's obvious
on the video. You can see that, It's like a different person unleashed.
And with bodybuilding, I feel with the workout part, you can go into the gym for the most part at any time in the day or month, and you're not thinking about a number, because that's not what bodybuilding is about.
Yes.
The reward, I believe, is after the workout, when you see yourself get pumped up, maybe you notice that one part is bigger, the shape.
I want the rear delts to come up, my biceps is popping off. Yeah.
Exactly. And with powerlifting, it's more instant gratification, because you have this number in mind for weeks or months in advance, and you go to the gym, and you know exactly what you're going to be doing that day. And it's just more exciting for me. Like the workout itself is the reward. And afterwards, it's like the painful part, because you're recovering, you're sore, you're achy, things hurt, you're beating yourself up. But with bodybuilding, I find the workout to be more of a chore, because I enjoy lifting heavy weights and feeling powerful. But I find the post-workout the reward with bodybuilding.
Yeah, it's delayed reward. And
it's a delayed reward, delayed gratification.
So which one do you prefer, personally?
I prefer powerlifting.
Powerlifting.
But now that I've achieved what I want to achieve in the sport, it doesn't excite me anymore to think about, okay, I want to hit this much weight and doing this lift. Now I get a bit more excited seeing how I can change my body, because I haven't attempted it before for a long period of time. Before, when I did bodybuilding, it was very short-lived. I only did 2 competitions, and training for it maybe 1 or 2 years. Imagine maybe 5 or 10 years of training for bodybuilding. How can my body look then?
Yes.
So and also it's just better for longevity. For powerlifting, it's okay when you're in your 20s, your body heals like Wolverine, it's very resilient, but 30s and 40s, not so much.
It gets taxing. You get taxed pretty heavy.
So I feel like knowing when to quit is very important, and I don't want to be forced to quit. I feel like I chose to quit on my own terms. Now I'm in great health. Besides the bicep, everything is in good health, no aches or pains. I don't have any permanent injuries besides this. So if I wanted to still powerlift, I definitely could. I didn't wait to the very last second where maybe I have something chronic where now I can't lift anymore, even if I wanted to.
Very smart choice.
So
very smart choice. Giving this, it's a sport of, punishing the body. It's a sport of punishing the body.
It really is.
So you have to figure it. Now, let's go into big talks a little bit. Recently, you've been diagnosed with the kidney condition, the rhabdomyolysis.
Yes, sir.
And with the passing of Joe Linder, may he rest in peace, does this change the way you approach the sport, the training, the goals, anything? What did it change? How did that change you?
Well, really, it just made me realize how on top of your health you need to be with getting scans done and getting your blood work checked. And even though this message has been preached for the beginning of bodybuilding, right? Our peers in the sport, the people that we looked up to that pioneered the sport, have always said, look after your health. And we were always aware of the dangers of the sport, especially at the highest level. So. With someone as young as Joe passing, it really hits home, because we're nearly the same age, we're in the same career, and it's scary. When I got sick just a couple weeks after him passing, and I thought, well, maybe I'm next. So I'm like, if I make it out of this, if I survive this, if it's, I'm looking at this in the future, what can I change to make this never happen again? And there's nothing else besides just getting more frequent checkups. Instead of like once or twice a year, how about every quarter? It only takes 1 day to go to the doctor, draw some blood, get some scans done. Even an aneurysm scan now I'm going to have to when I get back to LA, just because why not?
Why not? Exactly.
It's available to us, especially as an athlete.
It's better be safe. It's always better be safe.
Better to be safe than sorry. And there's no symptoms, as far as I'm aware, with an aneurysm, which is what I believe caused Joe's passing. So how would I know if I even have one and that's brewing right now unless I get it checked out? I wouldn't know until it's too late.
Yeah. When you have a car of that higher, you know, when you have a Formula One car, it has to be checked properly because it's used to its maximum level. Yeah.
Very
Do you
true.
feel that moving into 30s now, do you feel like, does it affect your recovery, your progress, your training intensity? Do you have any effect that getting into the 30s?
The only difference I feel is I have to dig a bit deeper to be motivated and excited for workouts, where in the past it was, I think, it was more exciting because it was fresh, it was more new. But after over a decade of doing it, it's not as, the novelty is worn off. So hitting PRs or making progress in bodybuilding, you know, the results now don't come as easy as they did when I first started. So I have to dig deeper and have more patience and take a different approach, you know, because it's just taking longer to get small results than it did when I first started.
Do you feel the bounty is larger? It takes
longer. The bounty
longer.
is larger, absolutely. And it takes significantly longer. It doesn't come as easy anymore, that's for sure. Yeah.
How long you've been married, Larry?
Well, we're engaged now.
Engaged.
And I proposed late last year. Actually on my fiance's 30th birthday, October 24th. And so it's nearly a year now. We've been engaged.
How did that change your fitness life?
Well, shortly before that, I went on TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. In efforts to just be healthier. And when she comes out to the States, we intend on having a family. And I want to be there for my children and set a good example for them as well. And not only them, but the younger generation that looks up to me. I don't want them to think that the only way they can find success in the industry is with PEDs or pushing the boundaries to the very extreme like I did. You know, I want to show them what's possible with a healthier approach.
So what's your advice to the younger generation now, going into powerlifting or bodybuilding?
Slow down. Just
Take it
slow
easy,
down. Yes.
They're all in the hurry, you know. I just need the result now, today.
Yes.
What's the fastest way to build muscle? What's the fastest way to lose fat?
Yeah, and when you rush, you make mistakes. When you forget your keys in the morning and you go looking for them and you're in a rush, you forget something else. You know, and the same thing can be applied, same concept can be applied to training. And it's, if you don't enjoy the process, then you're not going to last long in the sport anyways. So I find, you know, the reward's very satisfying, but I genuinely enjoy the lifestyle.
Yes.
It's not going anywhere. Whether I get to my ultimate goal or not, I enjoy the journey to it.
Brilliant. We've talked about this in a different podcast. Like the beauty is in the journey. The joy is in the journey itself, not the reward.
Right.
We usually are reward oriented or goal oriented, and we forgot about the process itself. The journey itself is where the magic really happens. And so, yeah, enjoy the journey.
Absolutely.
It's been a busy journey for you, mashallah, Larry. Yeah.
Oh, no doubt. It's been busy.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
I've been very privileged.
Which part? You're a powerlifter, a bodybuilder, a YouTuber, an influencer, and an entrepreneur. Which part is that most excites you now?
Now it's definitely the entrepreneur side because it's mandatory. As I'm engaged and as I'm entering my 30s, more is expected of me as a man, exactly. And it's not no longer is it just about me. Now it's about my fiance. It's about my future children. I have now people I take care of. You know, for example, my mother. She's working for me now, and I have my manager full time, Adam Silver. He's been working with me for 8 years. So now my responsibilities are growing. And when I first started as a powerlifter, it was really just about me. So I had to take care of myself. I had to reach my goals, and that was enough. But as you age, I believe your responsibilities grow. And I think it's a bit selfish now to just think only as an athlete.
True.
So I have to be more in an entrepreneurial mindset to have more balance in my life.
To provide.
Yeah.
Who are your inspiration? Who do you aspire? Who inspires you? What are your role models?
Well, right now, I'd say Bradley Martin for what he's done as entrepreneur. He didn't take the approach where he needs to be Mr. Olympia or world record holding powerlifter or world's strongest man. He's a very fit and shape guy, but he managed to turn what he had with the cards he'd been dealt into a major empire. And now he's collaborating with the most influential people of the world. And he's a multi-millionaire. He's bringing up other people, myself included. When I first went to LA, he brought me up. He taught me game. So he's someone that I still to this day appreciate and respect. And from the bodybuilding side, I'd say Andrew Jack, even though I met him in the parking lot here at the Benos gym, I see the commitment he's made ever since, and it's very inspiring. You know, even though he had that potential, he just needs someone to show him how much he really had and how far he could take it. And once he realized that, now he's on the Olympia stage. He's put on tremendous amount of muscle, and he's killing it, you know, and I really look up to him because as I'm entering my bodybuilding journey, I see what I have to go through and what he's putting himself through. Right now, I think he's in LA in a training camp for the Olympia, and I even asked him to, hey, let's catch up. He's like, oh, well, my prep is done. And I respect that.
You know, he's busy now.
You know, even though
talk to me now, I'm prepping.
Yeah, I respect it. You know, he's that dialed in. He has that much tunnel vision. You know, even a close friend, he's like, no, I'm training now. When it's done and I can relax, I'll take my hat off and we can catch up. But now I have to be focused, and you cannot respect that.
You understand that. You've been there, so you know what's a prep is like. Get it?
Yeah, and but that hits home because like I realize what he's going through right now mentally. You know, physically is one thing, but the mental challenge of bodybuilding, I think, is second to none. It's a very mentally challenging sport, with nutrition and training, especially on the Olympia level. I haven't experienced that. I've only experienced at the amateur level, and it's very challenging. I could not even imagine
that. Yeah.
Pro level, Olympia level. It's
whole different level, different level of commitments. What's the achievement that you're most proud of? Yeah.
I would say it's a combination of my powerlifting records. I have 3 in 3 different weight classes, and not many have ever done that in the sport. And 110, 125, and 140 kilogram weight class, I've broken all-time world records. And I believe that's what gave me my street credibility in general.
It is. It's the street cred you have.
I feel like those records, like that accomplishment is just never going to go away. Even though records are meant to be broken, the fact that I did it.
You broke them.
I proved it.
Yeah. How many broke world record? And how many people you know broke a world record?
Exactly. So do I have to keep going back and breaking my own records, or whoever breaks it next? I don't believe so. I think I proved my point, and now I can evolve to the next thing.
I think it's smart now. It's moving a little bit away from the hard work and not the hard work, the intense body taxing work, moving into brain taxing world of entrepreneurship. I think it's a smart move, and I think you're a combination between Andrew Jack and Barry. You're the hybrid combination of both. What inspired you to start your own supplement company?
Well, I have experience working with companies in the past, and there is nothing like being able to put in your own input. Formula, exactly, versus just taking what's been handed to you and then promoting it. And I have a big platform, loyal following, and I owe it to them to give them a good product, that's been tried and tested by me, that I've been personally involved in. And I believe with anyone promoting anything, if it's coming from you, your marketing approach is going to be totally different than if you're promoting someone else's product.
Exactly. A little bit more believe into it.
Absolutely.
So what's the future for the company? What we are looking for personal record? What's the future in there? More products, of course.
Absolutely. More products, of course. And as funny as it sounds, but we do have a men's libido pill coming.
All right.
PR Edge.
Yeah, all right.
And, not just from the
We're always excited
side.
about that.
Yeah, exactly. That's critical. Just as important. That's the most important muscle in the body.
Exactly. If that works, everything else works.
Exactly. If that works, you're going to be a happy camper.
Exactly. Yeah. Best of luck in that. So PR, personal record supplements, you're into, you guys provide the supplements and provide the lifting gears as well, the belts, the wraps.
That's where it started, from the lifting gear.
It started with the lifting gear, yeah?
We offer a small variety of clothing as well, but primarily we specialize in accessories, belt straps, wraps. We have a new patented belt coming out as well for powerlifters, and we're working on just innovating a few pieces of equipment that we already have, just to keep evolving with the industry. But this was the natural evolution of PR, to get into the supplement game. And now that I am on TRT, it makes sense to use what left that I can from the natural side of the sport.
Try to revive that side as much as you can.
Yeah.
Best of luck with that. Okay, I would like to thank you again for this amazing talk. You're always welcome in Dubai. So what are you up to in Dubai?
Well, now, really, I'm just, my fiance's here, and I'm looking to spend every waking moment with her. Haven't seen her in 8 months. So we're looking to just spend some time together, catch up, and working on getting her visa to America. So I'm just taking it in.
Just chilling out. You've heard about the Beanos Classic, the bodybuilding show?
I have, yeah.
You'll be there. You'll be...
which day is it again?
I think 29th to 30th of September.
See, I'm leaving on Tuesday.
Tuesday will be
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
'Cause I have to
It's going to be a blast.
What's up?
It's going to be a blast, the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're putting so much effort into it.
If I didn't have obligations back in the States, I would absolutely just take. I'm already here, you know?
Yeah. So enjoy it.
Yeah.
Larry, thank you very much for the talk. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for
You
having
look
me.
so much bigger on real life than pictures.
I
Yeah,
gotta
don't do
change
it
my
justice.
camera, man. I gotta change my camera.
Yeah,
then.
massive pump, man. Much respect, man. Much respect.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. How do you regimen your powerlifting training program?
Sorry?
The powerlifting program. How do you schedule it? And of course, you have like specific program for the powerlifting whenever you have preparing for a show.
Yeah, for example, powerlifting, I would start with the heaviest move, the most challenging movement of the week, which would be squats. And then after 2 days, so it'll be Monday, and then I go into Wednesday, be bench press, and then Friday would be deadlift. Because I want at least 3 days in between my squat and deadlift. When you're powerlifting, you're putting
So it
on a
taxes the
tremendous
back.
amount of weight on your back. Exactly. So your back needs to heal in between the squat and deadlift. So between
Smart.
Friday and Monday, you got 3 days to rest.
I really should consider it. I've never been a powerlifter, and it always taxes. I felt like I don't handle. My body doesn't handle the weights. Always get injured. But I think powerlifting makes great bodybuilder. So any bodybuilder should consider being some sort of a powerlifter in between.
It does build muscle density unlike anything else.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun. Most
Fun
importantly,
part.
it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Guys,
Seeing the-
PR, nutrition PR supplement, Larry Wheels brand is available on Sporter. Very nice to have you, brother. Looking forward to have you in a different next podcast, inshallah, again and again. Always
Absolutely.
welcome in Dubai.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Enjoy your life, man. Enjoy
Will
it.
do, brother.
And that's it. That's a wrap, guys.